Hi, welcome to Getting Cozy and Comfortable with Your Money. I'm your host, Lynda Moore, the Money Mentalist, and joining me now from her car is the amazing and effervescent Shelly Davies.
Effervescent. Yay. Kia ora. Hey, Linda. So good to be here.
It's lovely to see you again. So I am very privileged to have you joining me today because you were my very first Money Mentalist client, and that was, I think, 5 years ago now, was it?
Yeah, it totally was. And I didn't know that at the time. I figured that out later on and went, wow, because I'm sure that I discovered you in the Koru magazine. Is that right?
Yeah, it was in a business magazine, but yes, yeah.
Magazine, yeah. And I remember so clearly because I saw you and I read about you and I went, that is what I've needed my whole life. And then I kind of sat back and went, oh, wish I could do something like that. And within seconds, I caught myself and went, yes, you freaking can. You're running a business. Call her. And so I picked up the phone and I called you, and it felt like such a bold thing to do. And oh my gosh, it's been amazing. I made so much progress with you helping me.
Yeah, well, you certainly did. It was amazing because, yeah, I mean, we dug deep very, very quickly, but we'll get into that a little bit more because what I would love you to tell us is what you're actually doing, because you have an amazing brand, which is you. You do all sorts of exciting things, and I wish I had my little gratitude journal here that you gave me at Christmas time. I absolutely love it, and I might not write in it every day, but I make sure that I catch up, and it sits by my desk all the time because I love it that much. So tell us, what are you up to?
Yeah, so I run a writing training business. In a nutshell, that's what it is, or what it's always been. But it has expanded because, so I have spent 8 years now going into people's businesses, government departments, corporations, those kinds of things, and teaching them how to write better emails, reports. Basically, it comes down to write like a human, so that the words you're putting on paper or a screen actually work for you, instead of waffle and wasting people's time and being painful and all of that. And the longer I've been doing it, the more I've realized that so much of that is about the confidence to use your authentic voice. So much of that is about owning who you are and understanding the clear messages that you want to get across. So I recently rebranded from Shelly Davies Writing and Training, which is all very nice and clear, to Shelly Davies Writing, Joy and Badassery, because anyone who hangs out with me a little bit knows that that's what you get in a room. And I'm just loving it. I'm just adoring it. I feel really, really privileged to do what I do.
Yeah. And I know because we catch up at least once a year and we talk and things like that. And I think certainly from talking to you that getting the whole money side of you sorted has really been a part of this whole journey in your business as well, hasn't it? And being able to do what you do and value yourself, because that was a big thing around valuing yourself in your own business, wasn't it?
Yes. Now, I'm my worst enemy, right? So, I mean, we're all on a journey and we're always learning. And I made some really big leaps and bounds when I worked with you. I got breakthroughs into the values and the beliefs that I had that were holding me back. And that was huge. I needed that desperately. I also needed to start valuing myself and not undercutting my own pricing. And we achieved that. You seriously helped me to achieve that. The management of the finances has still been a challenge, but then I've been going through this period over the last few months where, again, I feel like I'm like, oh my gosh, this is my next period of growth and it's amazing. But that work that we did back then was the difference in my income slowly dwindling, dropping as a self-employed person because I wasn't valuing myself, and it just skyrocketing.
Yes.
And it has increased in profit and revenue every single year.
Yeah. And I mean, that's fantastic. I mean, that was, I guess, not necessarily what we thought an outcome was going to be when we started to work together, was it? Because it was about, it just kind of happened. And I remember being so excited when you phoned me up and told me what you'd done with your charges. It was like, yes, I'm so excited. It was a really cool moment, I think, for both of us.
Yeah, absolutely. And then I've passed that on. I've helped so many other people do the same things. Like, come on, girls. If you were a man, how much would you be charging? Seriously. I know that's not all that it's about, but as women, that is a particular challenge that we have, I think, charging what we would.
Yeah, I think definitely it is something that, yeah, we are definitely a little bit behind in pushing ourselves forward, I think, in that particular area.
I'm not now. And
You're not now, no.
I'm pretty sure it was around that same time, or maybe just shortly afterwards, that I started putting my pricing on the website. Actually, it was then, because I wanted to make myself accountable by putting a solid concrete price out there and going, this is it. This is how much it costs to get me in a room with you. And I knew that it would hold me accountable, because then I wouldn't undercut that if it was out there and people saw it. It also meant that we didn't need to have that really awkward conversation around pricing, because people had already seen it. And I've never looked back from that. And even literally just yesterday, when in a post-COVID era, I've been wondering what I should do about pricing. Should I make adjustments? You know, just trying to be open-minded. Literally yesterday, I had someone come and say, look, I've looked at your website. One of the reasons why we've come to you is because you say, this is what I'm worth. No negotiating. If you don't like it, don't call.
Right.
And so it's still working.
Yeah, that's really good. And isn't it to see that even in the environment that we're in at the moment, where I think money is top of everybody's mind because of what we've all been through and what we're hearing in the media and what we're seeing overseas, that you're actually still standing very firm and you are still getting responses, and you're getting positive responses. You're not getting pushback.
Yeah, I'm looking at the light that's moving as the sun sets onto my face.
That's right. Move around a little bit if you need to. Yeah. Cool. Excellent. So now, just a couple of little fun questions before we get into the serious money stuff again. Dogs or cats?
Definitely dogs.
Definitely
Cats
dogs.
rough. And I don't know if you're going to want to edit that out of your podcast, but I believe it completely.
It's okay. I've actually got the two dogs here crunching on a bone, so if there's a little bit of background noise, that's what it is. It's not me, it's them. Okay, favourite song?
Barbies by Pink. It's about wishing, not knowing that adult life was going to be hard, and wishing you could go back and play Barbies in your room. And I think that on certain days I'm like, oh man, could I just go back to playing with Barbies in my room, because adulting is hard.
I think we probably all have the Barbie days, and I'm sure the guys have Thomas the Tank days, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Okay. Now, I'm really interested in the answer to this question, because I would have asked you this when we first started working together, and I can't remember if you recall what you said then versus what it is now. But a very important question in your money journey is, what does money mean to me? So what does money mean to you?
I was trying to remember what I said back then, but if I forget trying to remember that and just tell you what money means to me now, money means freedom and choices.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has for many years, even since you and I did work together, meant stress and fear, because I still worry about my own ability to manage it well. But I can really firmly say that now when I think about money, that's what it means. It means freedom, and it means choices. And that's another thing that I say to women when we have this discussion about charging what we're worth. We have every right to seek after financial security for ourselves and for our families. And so that's what it means to me.
Yeah, yeah. I remember, I think you told me a story when we were working together about going out with friends or family to cafes and things like that. And you kind of felt that you should be the one who paid, because you felt that was what you should be doing. So in that circumstance now, if you go out, how do you feel when you go out with friends and things now? Is that still there, or has that morphed into something else?
Yeah, man, that's been such a long time. I have definitely had periods where I've fallen back into that trap. These days, as early as I can in the plans, I'll make a comment about, if I need to. Oh, you guys, I've got a budget on this one, or just kind of an alert. And then what that does is means that when it gets time to pay, I don't feel that expectation that I put on myself, because no one else does. No one else is coming along going, oh, we've got a free night out on Shelly. And part of it has been with my daughters growing up. They are 16 and 17 and both working and both beautifully independent. And as soon as I started earning money, I started putting expectations around that. All right, I'm still going to pay for your medical care. I'm still going to pay for food. I'm not at a point where I need you to pay board yet, but it'll come. The longer you stay here while you're working. But at the moment, anything that's just a want, that's on you now that you're earning money. And so even in that relationship, it's reinforced for me. Consider, Shelly, whose responsibility this is. And so I think that has extended to other parts of my life as well.
Right. So now you feel you're a lot more comfortable in that relationship with money and the meaning that you now have around money?
Yes. Yep. Like I said, it's been up and down. And I have always been my own worst enemy, but it just takes it has taken gradual steps of self-awareness, and we did the foundation work together. That was the beginning of the change, and then through various things it's been up and down. I have had to do a lot of work undoing my negative relationship with money. I got the awareness of it with you, and those aren't things that we can change really fast. I don't think. I think they take a lot of time.
Yeah, and I think that's the interesting thing, isn't it? We think a lot of things now in society is the wave the magic wand. It's a quick fix. I'll go on a diet tomorrow and I'll lose 10 kilos in a week, sort of thing. But I mean, we've had these habits for a very long time. We've had this relationship with money since we were born. It's not going to change overnight, and we are going to slip back. And that's why it's so cool to be able to speak to you, because you can put that reality check around this work. It is deep work. It is hard work, isn't it? It's not an easy sudden.
Yeah. But then, like, in the last couple of years, supporting my partner with his business, and he feels out of his depth with accounting, with Xero, with GST, with those kinds of things, and me supporting him, and him kind of going, wow, how do you know so much about this? And unless you pause and recognize how much you've learnt, then you wouldn't realize, because it just becomes natural. The more you do it, the more natural it becomes. And when I recently decided to kind of rejig my personal finances, the fact that I could go into Xero and just pull up a profit and loss and look at exactly how much I'd spent on everything for the past year, so that I could decide what I wanted to keep the same and what I wanted to reduce or increase. And that I set up with you, or you set up for me as we were doing that work together. And I've kept it up this whole time. And so you just take it for granted that that information is now at my fingertips. It's just no drama.
Yeah. So again, that really is also highlighting that, the practical side of it, we can't let that go. We still have to understand what's going on the practical side. But that's probably about, I always say that's about 20% of the journey, and your mindset is probably about 80% of the journey.
Definitely. Oh yeah, completely.
Yeah. Okay, a little bit of a fun question here, because now we've sort of established, I've lost you. Oh, no, you're back. That's good.
I'm back. Yep. It was my battery. It was a warning that my battery was going flat. Sorry.
Okay, that's all right. We can do a little bit of editing in the middle there. So getting back to our little fun question, we've established that you have completely rejigged your relationship with money. So if you were dating money, what would it say about you?
I thought about this question. I prepared myself, because I can tell you what it would have said before, what it would have said about me before if I was dating money. It would have been something along the lines of almost an addictive, really dysfunctional kind of behavior with no thought to consequences and no long-term thinking. And I was so proud of myself when I thought about this question earlier today, to go, if I was dating money, what it would say about me is that I'm investing in a really healthy, resourceful, long-term relationship. And oh my gosh, that sounds so grown up, and that's not like me at all.
I know, it sounds very grown up. But I mean, it's so cool that you want to have a loving lifetime relationship with your money, because that's what's going to set your family up to life. And that's, that's, I think, what we should all be aiming for when it comes to dating money. Yeah. I guess some of that, first intense passion around money may have waned a little bit because, you're now into the long-term phase. So the rose-tinted glasses are off, and the reality of what this relationship looks like, warts and all, because it's not always going to be easy, is now top of mind.
Yeah, and but there is still the romance part of the relationship, because I make sure that I celebrate the benefits. I make sure that I have positive reinforcement and reward myself. I make sure that I stay in love with money. I make sure that relationship stays good.
Yeah.
Well, I am at the moment. I keep saying, I haven't always.
Yeah, no, and that's fine. We all do go up and down and all over the place. And I think, part of the reason that I want to do these series is to actually, I guess, almost celebrate money, because there's so much negative messaging and what you shouldn't be doing and how you shouldn't do this, and but you need to save and da-da. And yes, you do need to do these things, but why can't we do it in a fun way? Why can't we do it in a loving, exciting way? And that's exactly what you personify in your journey over the time, is that it's fun. It should be fun.
Yeah, and it can be, and it's up to us. And there have definitely been days when I've cried and been like, how am I running a business? Who let me run a business? I don't know what I'm doing. Like just fear and anxiety and worry. But a lot of that is from kind of the position that I was in, that I had already got myself in before you and I first started working together. And I made decisions in the first 1 or 2 years of my business that it took me 5 years to catch up on. And it meant that I was just always on the back foot. So, of course, if you're always on the back foot and you can't see an end, then there are going to be some hard days.
Yeah, and I think every business owner can relate to waking up sometimes in the morning going, I don't want to do this anymore. Yeah, there are certainly days that we have like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Who let me adult? I don't want to.
Oh, yeah. Where's my Barbie?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So I'm sure you're going to have an answer for this one. If you could turn back the clock and do something differently, is there anything that you would do differently? Or is there a really amazing lesson that you've learned on this journey?
When I first started my business, right at first, like the first 12 months, no, actually, that's not true. Before I started my business, my first kind of 12 months of being out on my own, but I hadn't like officially started a business, I was so good at putting away tax and stuff and putting away money for the slow periods. And then things exploded and grew so quickly. I just forgot to be cautious and sensible like that. Right. So I had this period of a good few months where I put all this money away and I felt so confident and so safe. And then I had a period of a couple of years where I just wasn't. And that's why I then had 5 years of catch up after that. Yeah. So if there's something I could do differently, it would be not to spend my tax money in the first 2 years, because that is the hole that I dug myself. Now, for years I've said that I don't regret it, because I built myself a home on Great Barrier Island where my family is from, and that's a beautiful thing to have. But if I had been smart, I probably could have done that just 12 months. I probably could have put it off just 12 months and done the exact same thing without the 5 years of catching up. Right.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think as a business owner, that's a really important lesson to learn, is unfortunately the tax man doesn't wait. And
you just can't take that risk. It's it's a game that you can't catch up on.
Yeah. Cool. Excellent. Well, it's been so cool catching up, and I really appreciate you being so open and frank about the journey. It's really cool. Little quick question here. You've got $1,000. What are you going to spend it on?
First of all, I want to say I love this question because I have got $1,000, because I've been doing profit first just for a little while now, which means that I've been putting away a certain percentage before I do anything else, and it sits in an account that is profit for me to use and celebrate with at certain points. And I decided when I reached my first $1,000 of just straight profit that I would celebrate. And so I already know exactly what I'm going to do with that $1,000.
Good.
And at first I thought I was going to put it off a debt because I'm getting close to being debt free. And then I decided, no, I need it to be more of a celebration than that. And so I'm rebranding my car, which might not sound that exciting, but I've put it off for a year after I rebranded my business. Just couldn't find it in me to invest in rebranding the car. It just felt too frivolous. And now it feels like I've earned it and I'm excited. And every time I get in my car, I'll be like, see, Shelly, you put your profitability first. And that meant that you could do a cool thing. And I love that.
Oh, that's cool. That's really good. I like that. Yeah. Well done. Oh, I shall look out for the new branded car.
Yes, I'll have to come show you.
You will. Yes, you will indeed.
It might be the only car in New Zealand that has badassery written on the side of it. So, it'll stand out.
And so while we've been chatting, Simon has dropped off the book. So I'm just going to show everybody my lovely book. That's what it is. So look, Shelly, as I said, it's been amazing to talk to you. I am going to pop all of your details down below. But if there is one preferred way that people can talk to you so they can get some gratitude, joy, and badassery in their lives, what's the easiest, what's your preferred method?
Look, if you Google Shelly Davies, you should be able to find me on any platform, on any social media. You should be able to find my website, my email, and my phone number on the website. If you can't find me, I'm doing something really, really wrong. So just Google Shelly Davies.
Okay, cool. Excellent. Look, thank you so much. It's been so fun to catch up with you again. I really enjoy it when we have our
Love
time.
it. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So there we go. Another cozy and comfortable with your money session. And we will be back real soon with another one. Bye for now.